When I kneel before you, it's not to diminish myself, but to elevate the sacredness of our love above all else. Let me bow down and promise to hold your heart with the gentlest care, always honoring your soul's light. I kneel because love is not about power. It's about surrendering to the beautiful vulnerability between two hearts. Going down on my knees is my way of saying, I am here, fully present, ready to love you endlessly. Let me kneel in gratitude for every smile you've gifted me and every moment you've stayed by my side. I kneel not out of fear, but because your love inspires a humility that makes me stronger every day. To go down on my knees for you is to celebrate the beauty of a love that teaches me patience and grace. I bow to you, not as a sign of weakness, but as a symbol of the respect and reverence I hold for you. Knows I cherish you beyond words, beyond time, beyond reason. I kneel before your spirit, humbled by the way you've transformed my world with just your presence. To kneel for you is to surrender to a love so pure it heals, nurtures, and awakens. Let me go down on me and promise that no matter what storms come, I'll never let go of you. I kneel because your love has become my sanctuary, a place where I find peace, hope, and endless joy. When I bow before you, it's a quiet reminder that your happiness is my highest calling in this life. I kneel to honor the sacred connection we share, a bond that words can never fully capture. Let me kneel and say thank you for loving me enough to teach me what true devotion really means. I go down on my knees for you because love isn't about standing tall alone, but about standing together. When I kneel, I show you that even in surrender, there is strength. The strength to love without conditions. Let me kneel for you because you deserve a love that is patient, kind, and endlessly faithful. I kneel not because I'm broken, but because your love mends the pieces of me I never knew were lost. To bow before you is to acknowledge that loving you is the greatest gift life has ever given me. Let me kneel and hold your heart gently, promising to protect it with every breath I take. I kneel because you have awakened a love inside me that runs deeper than oceans and wider than skies. When I go down on my knees, I'm showing you that my love is a sacred vow, steady and unshakable. Let me kneel deeply, so you know how deeply your presence has changed my world for the better. I kneel for you, humbled and grateful, because your love teaches me to be the best version of myself. To kneel before you is to declare that my heart belongs to you and you alone, forever and always. Let me go down on my knees and say that loving you is the most beautiful journey I will ever take. Kneel not to surrender, but to embrace the vulnerability that makes love so wonderfully real. When I kneel, I promise to always listen, understand, and cherish the light you bring into my life. Let me kneel and whisper silently that my love for you is endless, boundless, and unwavering. I kneel because your love has become the rhythm of my heart, the air I breathe, the reason I smile. To bow before you is to honor the sacred dance between two souls destined to walk together. Let me kneel for you because love is about giving freely, humbly, and without hesitation. I kneel and thank thee. When I go down on my knees, I show you that my love is a promise, deep, true, and eternal. Let me kneel, not to ask for more, but to offer everything I have in this life. My heart, my soul. I kneel for you because your love has opened doors to a world filled with hope and endless possibility. To kneel before you is to accept the beauty of loving fully, without fear, without conditions. Let me go down on my knees and vow to honor you every day, in every way, for all of time. I kneel because your love has shown me how to be brave enough to feel deeply and love fiercely. When I bow before you, it's a silent prayer that our love continues to grow and flourish endlessly. Let me kneel for you, not because I must, but because my heart calls me to honor you always. I kneel and promise that no matter what comes, my love for you will never waver or fade. To go down on my knees is to embrace the power of love that lifts us beyond ourselves. Let me kneel and say that your presence in my life is a gift I will forever cherish and protect. I kneel for you because love is a sacred journey, and I want to walk it with you hand in hand. When I kneel, I offer all I am, all I have, and all I hope to be for the sake of our love. Promise that I will never take your love for granted. Let me go down on my knees for you, not out of weakness, but to honor the power of your presence in my life. When the world feels heavy, I'll kneel before you, not to beg, but to show how deeply I cherish you. I could stand tall alone, but sometimes love asks us to kneel, to surrender, and to feel every heartbeat aligned. To go down on my knees for you is to promise loyalty, devotion, and a love that bends, but never breaks. I don't kneel because I'm powerless, but because your word deserves a reverence that only humble love can show. Sometimes the strongest act is to kneel and say, "You are everything I've ever dreamed of and more." Let me bow before you, not because I'm less, but because your light makes me see how much more love I can give. The beauty of love is found in vulnerability, and so I kneel, exposing my heart to yours without fear. I kneel for the moments we share, for the trust we build, and for the endless hope your smile brings me. When I go down on my knees for you, it's a sacred dance between humility and passion that words can't explain. Love isn't always about standing tall. Sometimes it's about bending down, showing you how deeply you're valued. Let me kneel for you, so you know the depth of my commitment is as endless as the sky above us. On my knees, I find strength, not weakness, because loving you has transformed me into something more. To kneel before you is to say, I see you, I honor you, I'm here, now and always. When I go down on my knees for you, I'm giving you my heart with every beat, raw and unfiltered. I kneel not to ask for anything but to show gratitude for the gift of your love. In your presence, I bow down, not out of fear, but out of awe for the person you've become in my life. Let me kneel for you because this love deserves every ounce of reverence I can offer. My knees touch the ground, but my soul rises higher with every moment I spend loving you. When I kneel for you, it's not a plea, but a sacred promise etched in the silence of my heart. To go down on my knees is to kneel at the altar of your beauty, your kindness, your soul's light. Let me kneel, not because I'm broken, but because you've built something beautiful inside me. I kneel to remind you that in this world, my love for you stands firm, unshaken by anything. Love teaches us humility, so here I am, needing to show you what my heart feels but can't always say. When I go down on my knees for you, I lay down all my pride and lift up the truth of my love. To kneel before you is the most honest way I know to say, you are my everything. Let me kneel so you can see the depth of devotion carved into every part of my being. In the quiet of kneeling, I find the loudest way to say, I will always be here for you. My knees may touch the floor, but my heart soars higher with every breath you take beside me. I kneel for you because your love deserves a reverence as pure as the stars in the night sky. Let me bow down to the miracle of us, to the love that grows stronger with every challenge we face. I kneel not to surrender, but to honor the sacred bond we've built from trust and tenderness. When I go down on my knees for you, it's to remind you that love is my greatest strength. Let me kneel and whisper in silence all the words my heart cannot speak out loud. I bow to you because in your light, I find a home, a peace, and a purpose beyond myself. Kneeling isn't weakness. It's the bravest way I know to love fiercely and truly. To go down on my knees for you is to kneel in gratitude for the moments we've shared and those still to come. I kneel because you deserve a love that's willing to humble itself and rise again stronger. Let me kneel before your heart to remind you how precious and irrepressible you are to me. I kneel not because I have to, but because I want to show you the depth of my affection. I go down on my knees for you. I'm speaking the language of love through actions louder than words. Kneeling before you is a sacred act of honoring the light you bring into my darkest days. Let me kneel, so you know how deeply my soul is connected to yours in this infinite dance of love. I kneel to say that no matter what comes, my heart belongs to you, unconditionally and forever. To go down on my knees is to declare that loving you is the most important thing I will ever do. I bow before you because you are my greatest blessing, my joy, and my forever home. Let me kneel in your presence so I never forget the sacredness of the love we share. I kneel not to plead, but to promise I will cherish you more with every passing day. When I kneel for you, it's a vow whispered in silence that I will stand by your side, come what may. Let me go down on my knees to show you that love is both my strength and my surrender. I kneel, world with new eyes, full of wonder and hope. When I kneel before you, it's not about submission. It's about honoring the sacred space we've created together. Let me bow down and say that your love is the foundation on which I build my every dream. I kneel because loving you means embracing vulnerability and finding strength in the softness of my heart. To go down on my knees for you is to worship the essence of your soul with every fiber of mine. I kneel not to beg, but to express the gratitude that overflows from a heart transformed by love. Let me kneel for you so you feel the full weight of my devotion and the lightness of my trust. I kneel to remind you that in this chaotic world, you are my calm, my refuge, my safe place. When I go down on my knees, I open my heart fully, without hesitation. Let me bow before you, so you know that your happiness is my highest priority, now and forever. Kneeling before you is to acknowledge the sacred bond that connects our hearts beyond time and space. Let me kneel so that you understand the depth of my feelings, deeper than oceans and wider than skies. I kneel to honor the person you are and the love you inspire in me every single day. When I kneel for you, it's an act of worship, a celebration of the beauty you bring to my life. Let me kneel and promise to cherish every moment, every breath, every heartbeat we share. I kneel because love is about giving without expecting, honoring without demanding. To go down on my knees for you is to surrender to a love that heals and uplifts. I kneel not to lose myself, but to find the truest part of me in your love and light. When I kneel, I show you that love is the most powerful force in the universe, capable of miracles. Let me bow down and thank you for teaching me how to love with an open heart and soul. I kneel because your love has taught me the meaning of grace, patience, and unwavering commitment. To kneel before you is to honor the sacred promise of love that we share, unbreakable and eternal. Let me kneel so you feel the warmth of my love, radiating from the depths of my soul. I kneel not out of obligation, but because loving you fills my heart with endless joy. When I go down on my knees for you, I'm laying down all my fears and doubts in your presence. Let me kneel and say that your love is the light, guiding me through every dark moment. I kneel because your love has given me the courage to be vulnerable, to be real, to be whole. To go down on my knees is to embrace the sacredness of a love that transforms, and I kneel before you to celebrate the gift of us, a love story written in the stars. Let me kneel and promise that I will honor your heart with every beat of mine. I kneel because love is a journey of humility, grace, and unwavering faith in each other. When I kneel for you, it's a silent vow to always stand by your side, no matter what. Let me bow down and thank you for being the reason I believe in miracles. I kneel to remind you that love is the greatest power we possess, stronger than any storm. To kneel before you is to offer my heart in pure devotion without condition or fear. Let me kneel so you know that every part of me is yours, mind, body, and soul. I kneel not because I'm afraid, but because loving you is the most courageous act I've ever known. When I go down on my knees, I'm honoring the sacred trust we built together. Let me kneel and say that your love has changed me, healed me, and made me whole. I kneel because your presence in my life is a blessing I cherish every day. To go down on my knees for you is to recognize the beauty of surrendering to love's call. I kneel before you to celebrate the strength and tenderness that define our love. Let me kneel and promise to protect your heart with the fierceness of 8,000 suns. I kneel because your love has shown me the true meaning of patience and unconditional care. When I kneel, it's a testament to the power of love that binds us in unbreakable harmony. Let me bow down and say thank you for being my light in the darkest nights. I kneel to honor the journey we've taken and the future we will build side by side. To kneel before you is to offer my soul in a sacred act of trust and devotion. Let me kneel so you can feel the depth of my love. I kneel not because I'm broken, but because your love completes me in ways I never imagined. When I go down on my knees for you, I'm embracing the beautiful vulnerability that love requires. Let me kneel and say that your love is the melody to which my heart forever beats. I kneel because loving you is the greatest honor and privilege I've ever known. To kneel before you is to recognize the sacredness of every moment we share together and promise to walk with you through every storm and every sunshine.